Behind the Counter is sponsored by
Hover.com. Domain names made simple. Go to gfq.hover.com and get 10% off your entire purchase. And by Stitcher Radio. Listen on the go via the Stitcher mobile app. For more information, go to stitcher.com/GFQ.
He knew the world would not be the same. Few people laughed. Few people cried. Most people were silent. I remembered the line from the Hindu scripture, the Bhagavad Gita. Vishnu is trying to persuade the prince that he should do his duty, and to impress him takes on his multi-armed form and says, "Now I am become death, the destroyer of worlds." I suppose we all thought that.
We're good.
I thought we were going into the music.
Nope.
All right. Hey, hello and welcome once again to another episode of Behind the Counter. I'm your host, Rich Stambolian. And with me, as always, is a man, Jonathan Adler.
I am a man. I am a man. And you're a man too.
I was once
I don't know what the hell just happened with that segment.
That was
a Jonathan Adler production, people.
this is the way the show is, man.
I thought
Either
you were
roll with it or you don't roll with it.
I thought you were gonna wrap it up with like going into the 3, 2, 1 with the music.
I only have one hand.
It should have. That would have been so much smoother. I should have told you to do that.
Who pays you?
We'll do that again.
I don't know
Let's
what
do it
the
again.
hell-
Let's do it again.
No, I'm not sitting through that
Let's do it
depression.
again.
Hey, 15 minutes long. Hey, he's so creepy. He's a genius. Geniuses are always so creepy looking.
To those watching, that is Oppenheimer, the guy who invented the bomb, who we're talking
And
about.
the Oppenheimer Foundation.
Yes.
It's tangential to the show because we're going to talk about Manhattan Projects, which has Oppenheimer in it.
And remember,
What's
we're
up,
both
Pat?
men.
We're both men. With me is a man.
A man. A man wants. A man needs.
So what's up, dude? We haven't been here for a while.
time.
Schedule's a little shifted.
At least 6 months we haven't been here.
A day.
man.
You haven't been here a day.
Stop it.
Andrew actually pre-taped all our shows from a year ago, and this is the first live show that we've ever done.
That's why I don't look like shit.
Comic-Con
anymore.
was the last live show that we did.
Yeah.
That's it. That's all.
That's why I don't look like shit anymore. I
So-
have so much time to prepare.
So we're back. We're going to talk about comics, and we're going to talk about cool stuff and Comic-Con, San Diego Comic-Con, New York Comic-Con, Batman: Dark Knight Rises,
Morrison Con, Sausage Con,
Morrison.
Bangers and Mash Con is
Bang.
coming up soon. Con, Cans.
Black Biker Week also
I can't wait for Black Biker Week. We're all over that shit.
at Black World, at Black Girl World,
Black World's coming.
and Browers Con too.
I can't. Bratwurst. I want Herring Con.
I don't want Herring Con.
Herring.
The stinkiest con on earth. So it looks like we got a banging chat room right now. So guys, throw out stuff, comments. We may take them, we may not take them, but whatever.
We'll take him any way we can get him.
GFQ viewer 9310 gave away who you are. It's probably Adam. CodCon.
Con.
So let's start, man. I'm feeling a little rusty. You gotta knock this rust off.
Yeah? You feel rusty?
No.
I don't think you feel rusty.
No.
You don't look rusty.
Thank you. What do we got?
We're going into news now?
Let's do news. And
we
then,
missed a lot of stuff, and I'm trying to, because we're very prepared. I tried to kind of gather some information. And I'm not doing very well with that. So,
well,
we missed out on Comic-Con. The big thing with Comic-Con was, I think the biggest announcements were probably the Marvel movie announcements. You had their next marquee production after they get through all the sequels. We had Iron Man 3 announced. They showed a trailer, which we're not allowed to see, which is a waste of time. They announced that Captain America's 2 is going to be called Winter Soldier, which is awesome.
I wonder what that's going to be about.
I think it's going to be about New York education system and the failure of it, and how teachers are really trying to get their act together. There's also Thor 2 is going to be called The Dark World, which is probably going to have to do with the Dark Elves, I think. There is the Dark Elf
Okay.
from Forgotten Realms.
Or the planet that Thanos was on, like the negative zone.
No.
No?
It's like one of those other 9 worlds. I can't. It's escaping me.
Okay. Like Nephilim or something.
Yeah, I think that's the one. I think wherever
Okay.
Surtur is supposed to come from.
Muspelheim.
There you go.
That's the one.
Thank you.
That's the one.
Thank you, weird metal guy.
Thanks, Viking Metal.
What else we got? We got they finally confirmed Ant-Man by Edgar Wright, which should be awesome. And they're gonna have both Hank Pym and Scott Lang in the movie.
And what about Eric O'Grady?
Who? I can't believe it. Who? Yeah, I hope so. I doubt it in the first one though.
Yeah,
That's a lot of stuff because they're doing an adaptation of when Scott Lang first came in. Like he's going to save his daughter, and he breaks into the lab and he ends up stealing the
stuff.
Okay. One more. There's another one too. The biggest one, Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah,
which
yeah.
I'm so thrilled. Never in my lifetime did I ever think that we'd be getting a production as big as the Avengers with a raccoon, a living tree,
A
Drax
green lady.
Destroyer, two green people.
Green people.
That's 20%, 40% of the team is green.
And Star-Lord.
Star-Lord.
You know what? I know they're not going to do the mask for him, but I want.
They are.
Are they?
They showed a production still, which we can pull it up, but we're not that prepared again.
All right.
But they had a still and had him with an awesome looking costume.
Yeah.
The same mask, starburst in the chest, the fold over uniform. They covered up Gamera a bit, so it's not all chesty. They did a redesign on Groot. They made him a little bit more humanoid.
Okay.
But they look great. It looks awesome.
You know what? Like, I feel one of the only female character, I would say, one of the only ones that actually warrants the chesty look because that's part of her shtick. She's a seductress. She's an evil seductress at one point.
Yeah. Yeah, she was. She was she is she Thanos' daughter? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because Moondragon was she was Thanos' apprentice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Moondragon was Drax's daughter.
Who's dead.
Right.
Quasar, dead.
Yeah.
Most of the cosmic characters,
Dead. I love Cosmic Marvel.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And we're seeing a big return of that now because Bendis is trying to really gain hold of it in a book you don't like, but I enjoy, Avengers Assemble, by shoehorning the Guardians of the Galaxy into the Avengers world.
I didn't read the last issue. I was just like, it was
good. It was a lot of Guardians of the Galaxy stuff.
Yeah.
It's really secretly a Guardians of the Galaxy book.
I just feel like it's like that book to me is like a little ham-fisted. It's like the movie book.
It is. It is, but everything's the movie book at this point. Like we have like movie Hawkeye, you know, running around, which is an awful costume.
Yeah, but I'm excited about the Fraction comic that's coming out in August.
Well, anything David Aja draws is going to be incredible.
Phenomenal, man. Such an awesome stable of artists that Marvel has right now.
Yeah, they have. Well, not only the artist stable, but the writing stable is incredible. DC has nothing to show for them.
Which is what I think. I was talking to my brother about this morning. Between movie-wise, like Marvel could pull so much from artist designs, like how they based Iron Man on the $80,000 of armor and like all that stuff from like years ago, and they're doing the Warren Ellis story. You really have nothing to pull for like a JLA story that people could kind of like relate to, because that was the problem with DC, is that you knew who the characters were because they were so iconic and godlike, but you never had that moment. They're gonna fight a giant star. Nobody knows that. Nobody knows that's how they got together.
Yeah. Unless they do the thing they just did, in the New 52 with the Dark Side stuff.
That's probably it. That's what they're gonna go for.
I still think the JLA idea of making a JLA movie is so broken, and there's no possible way that can ever come off as a good product.
No, not
it's
at all.
too much. Like we were blessed with getting the Avengers, and like the chemistry between everybody, and the way it was directed, and the way that everyone was given a fair amount of time, and the way that they built up to it through all their individual movies. You had so much characterization. You were ready for it. And it worked. I was so happy it worked because I thought that was going to be a disaster.
Yeah.
I think the best thing they could have done was got Josh Whedon on board for it.
Absolutely.
I really think the JLA thing will be basically Smallville the movie, which some people out there would love that. I would want to blow my brains out. There was no way I would go to the theater to see that.
I personally, like, as firmly entrenched as we are in comic book fandom, both of us, it's just two dudes who never got the whole Smallville thing.
No. As much as the Deathstroke mask looks really cool in the Green Arrow show, or Arrow, I have no interest in that thing at all.
Yeah,
and I like Oliver Queen, but that's not Oliver Queen.
It's definitely not. The only thing I liked from Smallville was that made for TV JSA movie.
Yeah, that was all right.
and I barely got through it.
Yeah, I mean, still, it's really tough to get through.
Yeah.
It still has that weird Smallville quality, and that's not what I don't think that's the best DC can do.
No.
I expect the best from them, especially after Avengers. You better step your game up.
And especially after the 3 Batman movies, we were like, who never thought they were going to be like, you thought that the death of the franchise was going to be Batman and Robin.
Yeah.
And then, the past 3 movies have been completely phenomenal. They're their own entity. And you're going to have Superman. If you guys have not seen the teaser for Superman, go see it. It's really cool. And I'm a big Superman guy,
and I'm not. And I like it.
Yeah, it was like a really eye-grabbing thing, and I think it's going to be okay.
I think the problem, there were a lot of groans and boos during that trailer.
Yeah.
Because I think they're going for, the way they're selling it is this very melodramatic, nostalgia-based thing, and like it's really emotional-based. What people don't, they want to separate themselves as much as possible from like the Superman Return stuff.
Right.
You don't want to see a dude like carrying a plane for another 3 hours and being emotional, being emo. We got that from Smallville. We got that from Superman Returns. We want to see Superman punch dudes through buildings. They want to see an awesome Zod. They want to see the stuff they saw in the cartoons and the comic books.
Yeah.
That's the stuff that people come for Superman. They, like we got dudes who are no longer getting tattoos of Superman breaking chains on their chest anymore.
Right.
They want that. Those dudes want some, payback for those tattoos they butcher their bodies with.
You don't want like as much as I kind of dug Superman Returns. I'll put it on when it's on. I'll watch it.
That movie sucks.
But like now, like I remember being like really like defending that movie up and down after we saw it.
Yeah.
And like years later, just being like, you know what this movie really needs? Him punching somebody's head off.
And it doesn't happen at all.
No.
It was such a disappointment.
He saves stuff from dropping.
Lifting?
He lifts stuff. He puts stuff in other places. He cries a little bit. He gets hit with kryptonite. He gets stabbed and doesn't do anything.
Yeah.
But by the same token, Superman 1 and 2, the Christopher Reeve Superman 1 and 2, which I think are phenomenal movies, it led up to 2 having that blowout fight between him and the 3 Kryptonians.
Yeah, and that was like, a small piece of what we can, the potential that we can get with the Superman movie.
Yeah.
I think it's in the right hands. I think it's going to be a good movie.
Yeah.
I actually do have faith in that film. Not so much for a JLA movie, and I guarantee you they're going to screw up whatever Batman reboot they decide to do.
Oh, absolutely.
Like they're going to drop the ball so bad on it.
Yeah. Unless I mentioned this to our friend Bobby, who didn't really like Batman.
He's faking the funk.
Yeah. I think he liked it.
He did. I sat with him, man. That dude cried near the end of the movie, and like it got to him, just like it got to us. And he, I agree with some of the stuff he says. I mean, I even read a great article from Chris Sims, who does the Comics Alliance stuff. The guy's like Dr. Batman for the most part.
Okay.
He loves the two things that we love, Batman and Punisher, and writes very like college oriented, like thesis type essays about this stuff. And he pointed out kind of the same things that Bobby did that I do agree with, but I still enjoyed the entire, the full package.
Because that's it. And you're not going to get any more. You have to be satisfied with what you get, But if like taking over for Nolan, I would have to pick a dude like Aronofsky, Yeah.
Well, Aronofsky, any type of project that he gets attached to that's not his own, he drops anyway.
Yeah.
He was attached to the RoboCop remake. Watchmen. He leaves everything. So I wouldn't put my faith into getting him on. There's a lot of dudes that you can get out there that would do a great job. They just Marvel just signed the guy who did Chronicle to do Fantastic Four, which I think is gonna be tremendous. That guy knows how to do a really awesome superhero movie with some realism in there. But I don't. You know what? The Batman franchise just is so tight. And so well constructed, and it's just such a clear vision and so separate from it was. I look at it like an Elseworlds. Yeah, it's really its own entity, and it's a work of art. I really think we're gonna get slowly back to like a Schumachery type of like.
It's a good word.
Yeah, Schumachery.
It was a Schumachery.
It was a Schumachery
of the band. Schumachery.
Bane's wearing a fedora. Drive around Poison Ivy.
Stupid. I sat through that in the movie theater, and how old were we when like that came out? Like early teens, maybe.
Yeah, I remember seeing the one before it in the theater
with Val Kilmer.
Yeah,
it was terrible.
Yeah, it was.
But Batman and Robin. Was
I like Val Kilmer as Batman though.
Yeah.
I think he was just in the wrong movie.
Yeah, exactly. He had the right bottom of his head for the Batman costume.
Yeah. I thought
but-
Clooney was a good Batman also, but also in a terrible movie.
So stupid. Why? I don't even know what the numbers are in that
I think
movie.
Michael Keaton was a terrible Batman, but in a great movie.
Yeah. I never minded him as Batman.
It's just him outside of the Bat costume. It's
Mhm.
just like, you're really Bruce Wayne?
He minded the curly hair.
Yeah.
What's this?
Because I can't get, you know what? I can't get around at this point in my life. Like, I can't get around Michael Keaton as nothing but the police chief and the other guys.
Okay. All right. Okay. Yeah.
You know, doing like TLC quotes.
Yeah.
Stop chasing waterfalls,
And Mr. Mom also.
Mr. Mom.
But
Multiplicity.
again, like Beetlejuice, he was Beetlejuice.
Yeah, and that's like to this day, like when people say Beetlejuice, like I still like separate him from Michael Keaton.
Yeah,
I don't
yeah.
even like, 'cause it's so far from what I believe Michael Keaton is. Even Batman, I don't put him in the echelon. And he's one of the best, but
Yeah.
I don't. In my mind, for some reason, it's a block.
I think he was also the shortest. This is like 5'6" or something like that.
Yeah.
Um,
Well, these people
Mhm.
in this movie.
these people.
These people need to get off my lawn.
Mhm.
These people, the guys that in the Batman trilogy are some of the shortest people on Earth.
Really?
Christian Bale is very small.
I did not know this at all.
He looks like a giant.
Yeah.
Tom Hardy looks like a friggin' giant.
Yeah,
He looks
looks
like
like-
Colossus.
Yeah.
He is probably shorter than me.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
I saw a line of them all on the red carpet, and he's a tiny little man. Tom Hardy can fit in your pocket. It's like all the shots were like up and above, and like, you know, like, yeah. I'm smaller than you think.
I did not. That kind of ruins it for me. It doesn't ruin it, but I'm saying.
Well, look at Bronson. Like Bronson, he's as big as a screen.
Yeah.
The dude has no shirt on. He's like, you know, he looks tremendous.
Uh-huh.
And then you see him outside. He's like a Tom Cruise. He's like a little tiny guy.
Yeah.
But that's, you know what? That's a great testament to him.
Yeah.
Tom Cruise, I can always say like, oh, that's a little guy.
Mhm.
Tom Hardy, you really have to dissociate yourself from the character and say like, oh, he's a little guy.
You know what? You know what the thing about Tom Cruise is though. What he does in movies is he does not have anybody who's taller than him on the production he's working on.
Yeah.
That's like a rule. That
Yeah.
He's just like, you can't be taller than like
No.
4'11".
Yeah.
If you're taller than 4'11", go away. You could be henchman number 2.
What's his name's little too? Robert Downey Jr. is a little old man.
I didn't know that either.
He wears lifts in his shoes.
Really?
It's like platforms, like arcade.
Wow.
He's like just skating around the room.
Fascinating. You know who else like is tiny that you never think? Michael Bloomberg.
Really?
Yeah.
No,
Apparently,
I'm not surprised by that.
apparently he's like a really little guy. For those people, for those who don't know who Michael Bloomberg is, he's the mayor of
The
our
king
fair
of New York.
city.
I will be lord of this realm forever. He does not talk like that.
Vote me in.
I want to do a whole show with those voices.
like this.
This is comic books. Welcome to Behind the Counter. Tune in next week.
I like Dr. Claw. That's a good Dr. Claw.
Dr. Claw.
That's his name, right? There you go. And we would
I do a good Dr. Claw and I do a good Mickey Mouse
You do a good Mickey Mouse.
and a good Dusty Rhodes. I won't do Dusty Rhodes.
Not that show. So what else we got from Comic-Con?
What else we got from Comic-Con?
Neil Gaiman's returning to Sandman.
Yes, he is with our favorite artist, J.H. Williams III.
Yeah.
Who is a black guy or not a black guy?
Not a black guy.
Not a black guy.
Not a black guy.
We're gonna do that one day. We're gonna have a game about black guy, not black guy.
I think
we were stunned when we did that at work one day.
Oh yeah. We should do not a black guy, not a black guy, and we should also do Geek or Chic. I thought of this in my head this morning for some reason, where like we'll take just a picture of somebody wearing a shirt, and you'll be like, you think that's a geek or like just a fashionista, you know? And it'll pan
That's
out,
actually good.
and it'll be like a really
Whoa.
time's up. It'll be like a really skinny model wearing a Superman shirt, or it'll be like a guy eating 7 hot dogs at once, like at a convention.
I would do this.
Geek or Chic.
I also want a segment where I shave with my cell phone.
That's a good bit. And banana phone. We need banana phone.
Banana phone.
Slam bing bong. That's good. You know, we're working on stuff.
All this material that
We've been doing this for about a year. We're still, we're getting there.
we're getting there.
Tune in for year 5 of Behind the Counter. Or it's space helmets.
Our Centennial Edition.
That's when we'll wear those the Daft Punk helmets. during the
Yes. Just do
entire
okay
episode.
symbols all day and give you beats.
Um,
We're slowly becoming a techno show.
Oh yeah, absolutely. That's where we both want to go.
We're really into that now.
Techno and extreme dubstep.
Extreme.
It was actually called Bro Step.
Yeah.
It's called Bro
Is it really
Step.
Bro Step?
Yeah.
Bro Step.
Like that that cinema song is actually called Bro Step.
What song?
The cinema, like that, the Skrillex remix
Oh, yeah.
song. The one dubstep song I know. That's actually...
That's the one that goes like...
Yeah.
Okay.
One of the ones that go like that. And that subgenre is actually called bro step.
I can't believe this.
That's really weird.
I think my nose is bleeding right now. I'm getting scanned by Rich right now.
So White J.H. Williams III is going to be the artist on the Sandman. Neil Gaiman's white too, which is no confusion there.
Is he?
No confusion there, Master White.
Yeah, I'm excited about that. Any new Sandman's good Sandman in my book, as long as it's done by Neil Gaiman.
Mm-hmm. He did the right thing, man. I feel like he saw the whole Watchmen thing, and he's like, I ain't gonna let this happen to me, book.
Well, did you hear the whole thing how they wanted to do this years ago?
Yeah,
he
he
was
had the budget for it. Right?
Yeah, well, not that they had the budget for it; they didn't want to pay him.
Well,
He
yeah.
basically said, I think I deserve a bigger paycheck than I did when I first did Sandman.
Mm-hmm.
And they're like, no, we're not going to pay you with any more money. He's like, well, how about the collections that are out there, the thousands of dollars that you're making, the millions of dollars you're making off my collections, off the absolute editions, after the trades, the hardcovers, your Dream Hunters, all that stuff, and get a bigger kickback on that stuff. And they're like, no, we're not going to do that. And then they saw before the Watchmen stuff and how much money they're making off of that because it's outselling their regular books, which are garbage. And now they finally signed him on. So he got done.
It's gonna be good for DC.
You're done.
I feel like that's good. It's stunt casting by DC's part.
Yeah.
Because they're like, after Watchmen, what's the next big thing we're gonna do? Jim Lee's kind of losing it a little bit. Let's go Neil Gaiman, Sandman. Boom. Let's get the girls back into this.
Get them in there. Get them girls back in here. And running on that little note, since we're always talking about negative DC stuff, because we can't talk about positive DC stories without
Terrible
going negative. We also have Grant Morrison deciding to leave behind DC Comics, which we saw a mile away by the quality of Action Comics has turned.
Yeah. I think he's being extremely political about saying his reasoning.
Oh yeah.
Because part of me feels like he's saying in deep down he's kind of like, this stinks. But the way he was just like, you know what, I don't really have any more stories to tell. I have a Wonder Woman thing, and then I don't know what I'm gonna do after this.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll come back, maybe not. It'd be cool if Marvel got him.
They're not. Image got him already.
Yeah.
He just wants to do create her own stuff. At this
Beautiful.
point. I'm happy with that. I was reading about his. Speaking of which, it's actually his new book is called Happy, with Derek Robertson. And I was reading an interview about him about the comic, and it's basically he's always wanted to do a gritty Punisher, hard-boiled type comic. Basically, this story is about Harvey Keitel and Bad Lieutenant's character meeting a tiny Pegasus horse in the backdrop of It's a Wonderful Life.
Awesome.
I am sold.
Awesome. Think about that crazy stuff, bro. we'll read it.
Yeah, I will read it. Your Action Comic stuff, I was so excited for it. It's really I love the Obama Superman stuff, but it's really
I think that was the best issue.
But Batman Inc. is a great book.
Oh, it really is.
It's a legal book too.
Yeah.
We are prohibited to talk about it, but we still will talk about it.
We're not prohibited to talk about it. We can talk about it.
Andrew said before that we will get our tushy spanked if we talk about Batman Inc.
Were those his exact words?
In his brain.
I
scanned them.
I hope he doesn't mean that literally.
That book got a lot of press this week because they actually held that book back a week because of the shootings in Colorado. It was they basically one of the guys, I think Mike Martz, or one of the guys behind DC's I don't even know if Mike Martz works for DC anymore. he just pulling out names. Said that it dropped on his desk, it was ready for print, and then he's like, "Oh, it's a little bit too much," and it to a degree. Two panels, I guess.
Yeah.
But it wasn't a little kid; it was a midget.
Yeah. Well,
and the gun in the classroom and trying to shoot,
and kind of how it starts with Robin faking his death.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you can see why, but at the same time, why not? What else came out from DC this week that was heavy on the violence or heavy on anything?
I don't know read DC anymore.
Yeah, it's tough stuff. Green Lantern, man.
Yeah, I mean, that was a really violent book.
That dude, Black Hand resurrected his family from the dead and fed them Chinese food. It's horrifying.
But it was good reads.
Yeah, it was a really good book.
I don't know what's going on in Aquaman.
I didn't read it this week yet.
It was all right.
Yeah?
I don't know what's going on in it, though.
I feel like the books I read were the books we're going to talk about later.
Nice.
Yeah, man, he's leaving. So
and Rob Liefeld now has said he's on 3 friggin' books, and now he's saying I'm leaving probably sometime in 2013, which is also when Morrison's gonna leave too. He's gonna leave around issue 12 and 13 of his 2 books.
Yeah,
which is a while for Batman Incorporated because we're only up to issue number 3.
Yeah, it's fine. You know,
Yeah.
do what you got to do. Like, we'll enjoy it. He's been on Batman forever, and you know, like he'll come back. He'll do something like All-Star Superman again, which is fantastic. I was actually talking about today how great that story was.
Yeah, I love that book.
Mm-hmm.
I absolutely love that book. That's one of the best Superman stories ever told.
It's kind of a forgotten book too. What I like, the thing I really dug about, before we talk about it later, because I'm probably gonna forget. It's on top of my mind now. That one little bit in Batman Incorporated where he shows like the holographic map, and he's like, "This is everything that's happened in the past. You know,
The Leviathan map,
yeah, like that. Everything that's led up to this point, and it's all the R.I.P. stuff and
Black Glove,
and,
yeah, Hurt,
all that cool stuff. What else we got for news? Not much, right?
That's it.
That's it. Want to talk about Batman?
Let's talk about Batman.
You like it?
No.
Okay, cool. Moving on. So anyway,
Easy segments.
listen, for those of you that did not see Batman yet, then this is gonna be completely spoilerific, I guess. Spoiler alert.
Yeah,
This is
lots
gonna
of
be
spoilers.
It's been a week, man.
Yeah, if you haven't seen it, go see it later.
It's
Hear us talk about the plot.
literally been a week. It's
I saw it twice already.
yeah, I can't wait to see it again and again
And again. Again.
Also, the movie for me, like, this is my quick review. I loved it. The movie was awesome. That's it.
I enjoyed it.
Mhm.
This is weird. That was a great movie. I mean, like, for me, I love the story arc of kind of like a broken Bruce Wayne for most of the entire movie.
Yeah.
It's great seeing Batman. It's such a boner for me to watch like Batman show up.
It is.
It like really is exciting. Bane rocked this movie.
Bane's ridiculous. I really love the fact that and I mentioned this to you like at least 3 or 4 times, that when he comes, like, the movie starts with him not being Batman for 8 years, you know, and he just kind of gets like a hard on for going out there and like busting some heads, and then he's really shitty at it, and he just like puts on like a big theatrical production where like cops chase him, and he's got the scary jet and all
I'm
this,
back.
and he sucks at being Batman. But it's cool, you know. It wraps up the Ra's al Ghul story. There's a nuclear explosion at the end.
Yeah, which is a kind of a running theme of the day. Bane is essentially Sean Connery impressions with your hand over your mouth.
Yeah.
Very James Bondy.
Yeah.
I can't do it. You could probably do a better
It's
one.
tough. It's,
Alfred makes us cry.
I was in the bathroom for that scene. I left when he quit.
Yeah. What else? You know what's funny? I kind of realized that when we left the thing, there's a whole segment where, you know, obviously Batman gets his bat broken in the movie.
Yeah.
Bane like smashes him in pieces and then throws him into this underground jail cell, which is essentially the Lazarus pit in a weird roundabout way. It's a pit. He gets reborn out of it. The same thing with Bane. Same thing with, you know, Ra's al Ghul. It's a kind of metaphorical Lazarus pit at this point.
That's very genius, man.
Thank you. I don't know if I came up with that on my own.
It came to me in a dream.
But yeah, there's a lot of stuff. And you know what? There's another weird thing I kind of realized about this too.
No Batmobile.
No Batmobile except for the camouflage ones that Bane's crew roll around in. And when there's 2 wire character people in the movie.
Right.
Littlefinger and Bunny Colvin, who's they have weird little roles. One guy from Dexter, like they got like weird guy from Stargate.
The HBO guys.
Yeah, they got weird people that do like really one-line roles. But you know what's interesting about all the Batman movies? They all opened up with no title card. There's no Batman Begins in the beginning of the movie.
Yeah.
There's I think the first one was just the bats.
Right.
The second one was fire. And this one was a really subtle ice cracking that creates the Batman symbol. And a lot of people missed it. But it's a weird thing to do for, you know, that type of, you know, big budget film. It's very artsy. It's very subtle. And I was reading an article about the ice thing that represents like the frozen aspect of Bruce Wayne's life at this point. We hadn't even brought up I want to eat ice cream off of Anne Hathaway.
Absolutely. With costume and without costume.
Yeah, she's amazing in this thing. She really, you know what? I'm always been disinterested in Catwoman for the most part.
Yeah.
and she rocked it. She really did a good job.
I went in there expecting nothing from her portrayal, and I had a chub the entire time she was on screen. She was fantastic, man. She was sexy. She did the whole multiple personality thing really well, which is kind of like not multiple personality, but multiple like behavioral patterns that she did, like when she's dancing with Bruce Wayne in that one scene, when she's being Catwoman, and apart from are you reading the chat room too?
Yeah, I'm trying to decipher what's going on.
I'm trying not to get distracted by either because apparently some stuff is going down in the chat room. So
keep on going, please.
I'm running out of steam because I'm getting distracted by it too. Yeah. Should we act this out? Or
And then this guy said this. I don't know. They're having like a whole other conversation about like another show.
Hey guys, keep it relevant to comics. Please, like, I don't want to hear about your goddamn...
Not the Andrew Zarian show yet.
I want to hear about your goddamn internet problems, all right?
I've got a machine that doesn't work.
Somebody help me. This is my only recourse for action.
13 gigahertz in my computer. Can I run mochaccino on my computer? Can I make a grilled cheese sandwich in my disk drive?
Mountain lion.
I can print a pizza out of my hard drive.
You don't want none of this.
Nerds.
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 I never thought I'd ever say, like, please keep it comic related. Please keep it comic related, guys. Keep it Batman.
It feels like Singapore in here right now.
If you're going to ask about tech questions in the comic show, at least say, what would Bruce Wayne do if his Macintosh computer broke?
Bruce Wayne would not have a Macintosh.
Yeah, he would.
I know his Mac.
He had a Batmac.
Alienware.
Straight. He rocks it anyway. He loves gaming. Those 9 years that he was retired, he's playing nothing but Diablo 3.
So great.
Shut up.
Level 13 Snow Elf.
You know what I really wish they threw in there?
Lord Humongous.
Wait, oh my god! If you
get your trucks back over here.
Walk over the ice.
The pumps.
If when Scarecrow saw Batman, he saw the
that's great.
The demon Batman.
Oh,
with like the shit coming out. It
looks like Tim Curry in Labyrinth.
So good. All right, let's keep it comic.
I think next week we're opening Lord Humongous.
Keep it. We got to get those masks. Is that in the budget, Andrew, to get his Lord Humongous masks?
How much are they?
I don't know.
To the hockey mask.
We can make them.
They don't even make them anymore.
I'm very good at paper mache. I'm not.
Bring them up here.
So, where was it? Oh, Catwoman. Really, she was really great. And everybody was awesome in the movie. Michael Caine, man, that guy's the best.
Yeah, he is.
That like every line he said in the movie was completely heartbreaking.
They had the entire cast of Inception in the movie as well, except for DiCaprio.
Yeah,
he plays one of the street urchins.
And Ellen Page.
And Ellen Page. But who cares?
Yeah, nobody cares about her.
No, she's getting fat right now.
I really wish there was like a little nod to Newsies at one point where they're finding the trucks in the city.
Yay!
Anything you were surprised at?
Yes, I completely jumped the gun and called a prediction that Bane. I was so hard on the fact that Bane was going to be Ra's al Ghul's son, and then Jonathan's like, I bet it's her, and then like
I called everything.
He did. He called everything, and then and she's like, like the what was it, like the slowest knife the slowest knife cuts the deepest or something.
The slowest knife makes Batman talk funny.
Why do you do that? He turned into Ben Stiller.
I would have liked Bane to be Val Kilmer. It's like, I'm the real Batman.
I'm the real Batman.
And also,
surprise.
And also,
fat and bloated.
Like the question of like, is Bane dead?
He's dead.
Yeah.
That dude took a rocket to the chest.
He did.
The same rocket that blew up the Holland Tunnel for the most part. Guy, he took it in the chest.
A lot of awesome explosions in the movie. There was a lot of cool stuff in this movie. If you watch the movie as a 9-hour flick, this is the greatest third act.
Yeah. Should I explain? Should I say the 3 Bobby complaints?
3 Bobby complaints. Go. Number 1.
3 Bobby complaints straight from the horse's mouth is number 1, revealing that John Blake, Joe Gordon-Levitt's character, is named Robin, which is grown-tastic. They could have said Grayson. Yeah. I felt weird.
Why didn't they do that? Why didn't they go with Dick Grayson?
They thought that it wouldn't, if they just...
People wouldn't get who that is.
And it was supposed to be a reveal. It was a reveal at the end of the movie.
Yeah.
They thought it'd be a little bit more identifiable and represents all the Robins. The fact that the last fight is basically him, Batman getting more muscles and, and just knocking the shit out of his mouth. The shit out of Bane's mouth. And then he really had a big problem with the chase scene. That he's like, why the hell's he's gonna have Catwoman in a motorcycle and him in a plane. I don't want to see Batman in a plane for the last half hour of the movie. Okay. I thought it was great.
Yeah.
I thought this movie had an incredible last act.
Mm.
I loved the way that it was segmented. I loved everything.
So would you say out of the three of the movies, where does this one fall?
The further away I get from it, I still have to say the second one's probably the best one.
The best one.
But the second one, the problem I have with the second one is I think it kind of loses it when they do the whole cell phone thing.
Okay.
Which part was that?
When they basically say that George Bush is right and you should
Monitor
all the cell phones.
Yeah.
They're all these movies are very political.
Mm.
But I think the climax of that was kind of weak, but then it gets kind of cool once you get to the building. And,
Right.
It's very confusing and all this stuff. But like the last Joker confrontation, confrontation is awesome.
Yeah.
I think that's my favorite one. But I think the amount of stuff they juggle in this movie, I think that's really, I don't know, man. They're all so different too.
Well, they were saying
they
how
really are.
I was reading this thing today where there was last week where when Bane let all the prisoners out.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Did the Joker get released?
Well, the whole thing
What
is.
prison was he? Was he in Arkham or was he in the other one?
Here's the thing: if you read behind the counter GFQ at Facebook, I published a little chunk of the novelization that they had, and they were saying that they moved when they did the Dent Act in the movie. That they moved all of the prisoners from Arkham to Blackgate.
Right.
There's no segregation in the prisons. You're just like how Catwoman ends up there.
Mm-hmm.
And they possibly had one prisoner left in Arkham, and it was probably Joker.
Just rotted away.
Yeah, basically. But they Christopher Nolan said that he did not want to mention Joker at all in this movie, just
Because it would have taken over the entire thing.
well, because they didn't want to do anything with him because of Heath Ledger being dead. They didn't want to have some asshole in a green wig because we have enough of that running around the streets anyway.
Yeah.
Who's gonna feed me?
Yeah.
But but here's the problem that I have. As far as mainstream recognition, the second one will always be
the
one, right?
It has so much attached to it. You have the death of Heath Ledger.
You have Joker.
Yeah.
It was such a massive movie.
So this is it for Nolan.
Is it?
Yeah.
So
It's wrapped.
Too
what
much,
happens?
What happens? Batman
and
succumbs
Robin?
to a bomb.
Yeah. Well,
Sometimes it's really hard to get rid of a bomb.
the end of the movie, I really thought Bobby was gonna say that that they foreshadowed the end of the movie in like the first 20 minutes, with Alfred's first speech where he's like, "I'll wait for you in a cafe in Tuscany," and I ordered a weird little drink.
A little tiny drink.
I ordered the tiniest
tiny
drink,
drink.
the tiniest drink
I'll
on the
nurse
menu.
it for an hour. And I'll wait for you.
And I
Batman.
thought I was gonna sit there and see your face, and you weren't gonna see me,
Oh.
and then I was gonna say hey, and you would not say nothing, and then leave. And
Pretty good.
you kind of foreshadow the end of the movie with that whole.
I didn't even think of it when it was happening.
I was like, that's gonna be it. He's gonna see him, and then that
I
movie's gonna
kind
end.
of got a wave of like oh wow. So that's Batman. That's Bobby's Batman. Bobby. His biggest complaint about the movie is that Batman would never quit.
Okay.
But I
Right.
think you know what? I don't think I think he's on vacation. I think eventually he's gonna get to. The
That's
point
what I'm
where-
saying, man.
I think he's gonna be like sitting around like watching television. He sees like no one training Joseph Gordon-Levitt to be the new
Yeah.
Batman, and he's like, just somebody's gotta get there.
How can
All
I
right,
do this
so
better?
if we go down the list of Batmans, was Christian Bale the best Batman?
Yeah.
Yes,
Without a
Because
doubt.
of him or because of the writing behind
Everything.
The Dark Knight?
I think the whole package
Yeah.
is really incredible.
Better than Val Kilmer.
Total package.
Absolutely.
Val
Yeah,
Kilmer was
man.
a bad
Come
one.
on.
No, he wasn't.
Val Kilmer was better than
Adam West, yes.
Adam West.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes. Better than Michael Keaton. Yeah, man. Absolutely.
Michael Keaton was. Here was my problem with him. With Christian Bale in the second one, it was more believable than the first one.
Why?
Because I always felt that Batman should be a 40-year-old guy.
No.
No way, man.
He's always between like 30s. I always envision Batman like 33, 34 years old.
I
Yeah.
always saw him as like 36 to 40.
Really?
Depends. Sometimes they do him older. It's a sliding scale with him, but especially since in this it covers such a long range of his life.
Yeah.
They say he was like 20 years old when he leaves the country. He was gone for 9 years.
Yeah.
To train.
Came back at like 30.
Came back at 30. He's gone for another 9 years for whatever amount of time. So he's got to be in his 40s or 50s in this movie.
No, he's in his late 30s,
do the math.
early 40s.
Do the math. He
was 21 in
29
the first one.
No.
They
wrong.
never,
beginning.
they
In the
never
beginning.
established anything.
Wrong. He's an adult man when he does that because they're talking about the estate coming into his hands. He's a grown up. So you can say maybe he's 18, maybe he's 20. All right?
Okay.
Right.
He's gone at that point for 9 years.
I thought it was 5.
They say in this movie, they say in this one, Michael Caine's talking to him like this.
When you
When
were
you were
first
gone,
gone. Yeah.
you were gone for 9 years.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
I always thought that you would. So, yeah, he's gone for 9 years training. He becomes Batman. There's a good amount of time between Batman Begins, Joker, and then this one. There's 9 years between this movie and the newest, the Joker movie, and this one.
I'll give him 36.
That's 18 years.
I'll give him 36, 37 in this one.
Yeah, 36, 37.
Because-
He's gray and hurting, dude.
Yeah, he's like Batman.
But he's lost cartilage at this point. He's got no cartilage in his knee. We always have this fight with
know.
about ages.
Age, but how old is Batman?
You de-age like almost everyone. Like we'll do a conversation where like this, like how old do you think Michael Caine is? And he's like, he's like 62. Like no, he's like 1,000 years old.
he's legitimately
So-
1,000
Morgan
years
Freeman.
old.
Listen, and Morgan Freeman married his granddaughter. That's a fact.
That's weird. Morgan Freeman's like almost 90 at this point. I know that. Like he's an old man.
Okay, so
But thank you,
let
JP.
me ask you guys this.
That's the other
40s.
thing.
Thank you.
What would you like? Who's the potential next movie going to be about? If it's going to be another reboot,
Yeah, it's gonna be another reboot.
It's gonna be about Batman.
Yeah,
Batman and Robin.
I don't know. I think they'll do another reboot. I really do not want to see another Batman origin story.
No.
I want to see what they did in the first Tim Burton movie, where they just kind of like throw it in and like he's
They start from
Hello.
the middle.
yeah, just have we know
Yeah.
these origins. We don't need origin stories anymore.
The Tim Burton story actually did it the best way because he just shows up at the alley, does the roses, and
Yeah.
then they do it in newspaper clippings. He's looking at newspaper clippings. He's a psychopath.
Fine, we know Batman.
Also to interject, GFQ viewer 9310, excellent point about how this movie ended the same way as the Adam West movie where he's trying to dispose of a bomb.
Yeah, I said that. I said that as well. Sometimes you can't get rid of a bomb.
Yeah. Oh, not over here. Yeah, man, it's a great movie.
Whoa.
I love it. Let's just talk about how great the movie is, not how old everybody is. And plus, Morgan Freeman, unidentifiable age.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he's 1,000 years old.
yeah. He was God. What do you call it? So the movie was fantastic. Again, like my two little fanboy gripes. 3 now, like Michael Caine forced out the ending of the movie. Number 2, no Batmobile, but whatever. I got over it immediately. And number 3 is that everybody, I know it's a comic book movie and I know it's pure fiction, but everybody talked in that Batman Begins monologue.
Oh yeah,
Like every single and at the end too, with like
Sometimes you gotta put on a coat to be a Batman. Anybody can be a Batman when you want to be a Batman. You want to be a man bad or a Batman? Are you a Mexican or a Mexican?
there was all right, number 1.
Jim Gordon was a hard ass in this movie.
He was a hard ass in this movie.
He was like Jim Gordon though.
Yeah, he was perfect. Like like that one scene where he's like, when Robin goes into the room and he sees the 2 thugs dead, and he's like, "Mind your corners, kid." And he has the gun to his head. But also, like, he's been on the force like God knows how
1,000
long.
years, not 1,000 years.
And he meets this orphan kid once, and he's like, "You're Batman, dude." And at the end, he gets into the plane, and he's like, "It's something as simple as giving the guy your coat." Because his parents got killed, and it's me.
I did that once.
The immediate flashback, and he's like, Bruce Wayne.
Well, also, the amazing thing is, by that time in the movie, everybody in the city knows that Bruce Wayne is
Wait a minute,
Batman.
he didn't know he what? I thought he knew him in the second one that he
No.
was Bruce
Gordon
Wayne.
did not have a clue.
In this movie,
How does he not have a clue?
in this movie, it opens up with Joseph Gordon-Levitt knowing he's Batman. Walks into his
Yeah.
house like, "You're Batman, no problem, dude." Talia knew it. Bane knew it. Catwoman knew it. Like
Except for
everyone.
the chief of police.
Chief of police has like he's
What
the
an
big.
incompetent.
Well, he was
force.
not. Well, he was in the hospital the whole movie. I'll give him that. He's
Yeah.
and this also covers about a year of his life.
Yeah.
This whole movie is about a year of Batman.
You know what? I also really liked the original trailer threw me off completely because like everybody thought that James Gordon was gonna die in this movie.
Oh yeah.
It was like it could have been us. That was cool too, where he just like snuck into the hospital.
his body.
Where's the border? And yes, Patrick.
He does that a lot. He does this.
There's a lot of slow roll moan.
He's doing the beginning of the Old Dirty Bastard album.
Whoa. Yes, Patrick. Batman did have too many lip shots in this movie. A lot of close ups. But you know what? I also like the fact that I feel like they amped the voice up for the fans.
Oh God.
I think one of the first lines he says in the movie is with Catwoman, and she's like, "Don't move or I'll kill him."
I'll blow you.
And then he's like, "They believe you, but they don't care."
Well, they also had the Bane face off with the
Where the triggers? Where the triggers? Where the triggers?
They just CGI'd some saliva coming out of his mouth.
So good.
As you can see, that's like the movie's great, man. Go see it. Everybody go see it. Nothing's gonna get you're not gonna get ruined. People talk about spoilers. Listen, if you watch the other two movies, you're gonna have it in your head that you think this guy's gonna die in this movie.
Yeah.
And also, like, he takes the bomb away in the bat, and there's like the whole issue with like the autopilot, which is another like kind of like he's gonna fix the autopilot. He's not just gonna fly in a plane with no autopilot.
I was so you know what? That's one of the few things I really picked up on. I know they said autopilot about 13 times in that movie, and it went over my head until the last scene.
They shoved it down your throat so much with like, hey, autopilot, there's no autopilot here. Master Wayne, there's no autopilot in your plane.
I think deep down I wanted him to die in this movie, and I kind of expected him to die, but then like when it started happening, we started flying away, and they have that close up of him like in the. I'm hurt. I was like, I don't want you to die, dude.
Yeah, he's Batman. But like he dropped the bomb and just kept on flying, or did he just jump out of the plane? Like, what do you like? I want the logistics of it. And also, when we were in the theater watching the movie together, as soon as the bat plane exploded, the lady next to us drops
her nachos all over the floor,
everywhere. Like in a moment of shock, she was just like,
yeah, she lost her shit.
Crap everywhere.
My nachos, Batman.
So what do you think? Like as soon as they showed the close up of his face,
I think
he dropped out of the bottom of that thing.
Yeah, or I think that could have even been like just a shot of him flying to the city. I think by the time that he blows up the building that he's coming out of, whatever, I think he probably got the hell out of there. And he's I don't think he went to the sea or anything like that.
That was the escape pod.
He was bleeding to death at that point too.
He was, man. He needed serious help.
Yeah. I was wrong. That is the same costume as the second one.
It was, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Same exact one.
Okay.
Because the entire movie.
Yeah. Never changed up. The first one was a different costume.
Yeah.
That was the really armored, weird one.
With the clothy cape.
The really clothy cape.
And the cowl. The cowl.
I
thought
they said he was gonna have like a lot of armor on this one because he's old.
No. Well, he's got a cyber leg in this one.
Yeah.
He's got like an awesome Austin 316 brace on his leg.
Knee brace.
Yeah, pretty much.
Makes
his kicks more powerful.
But he didn't use that kick in the movie at all.
Nope.
Like he kicked the crap out of a wall and then, and nothing else happened. Like I saw like a little thing about Christopher Nolan movies where it's like a 4-panel comic and
he won't ever kick someone.
No kicking. Guns.
The first panel is I can't wait to see this movie. The second panel is my God, this movie's genius. The third panel is you know what, I don't know about this movie, and then the fourth panel is I really like this movie.
That's a good point.
Yeah, it's like every Christopher Nolan movie. Like you go through that with every single flick that he's done.
Yeah.
But the dude's an awesome filmmaker, and what he did for the Batman movies, it's just like every fanboy will give this guy the silent thumbs up for the rest of their lives. We're like, buddy, what you did with Batman?
He saved the franchise.
Let me buy you a drink.
Yeah.
I mean, he saved that franchise single-handedly.
He did.
He did. And no one had, when the first one came out, it was really under the radar.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people didn't know what to expect of it because they really had bad taste in their mouth because of.
Also, I mean, there was no
mockery.
Joker. You know what I mean? Like, there was no.
Yeah.
Katie Holmes
there was no
in
villain.
It, so people were weirded out by
There was
that.
no villain. They were really not. I mean, it was Ra's al Ghul, which no one really knew outside of, like, us nerds.
World.
Yeah.
Well, no, you had the Scarecrow.
Yeah.
Yeah, but they had that, but you didn't know what the deal was with that. They kept it all under, wraps.
Mr. Zaz.
Mrs. Zaz was in the movie.
But the whole story, how this movie got developed, is fascinating.
Yeah.
Like the change of script and like how it evolved from what initially was going to be, and Nolan had signed on at that point.
Yeah.
What initially that movie was going to be.
Yeah.
Where the Scarecrow would have been played by Howard Stern.
Never would have happened.
Yeah.
Well, he was on board at that time. Nolan was on board at that time. They changed the script and they changed it like 15 times.
But that wasn't his script. He dropped that whole entire script.
Yeah, he dropped it finally. But it evolved like 15 different times.
Yeah, he said, like, this sounds retarded.
Yeah.
I don't want Howard Stern.
Said Batman
I don't want
would have
Howard
been at
Stern
that time.
anywhere near Batman.
No. Unless he's Fartman.
But it's Buttman.
Fartman. Yes.
Sorry.
Different story.
I also I watch. They've been pumping us full of Batman stuff on TV too. Katie Holmes is so cute in that first movie, and why is she replaced by
I like her
by
man.
Twilight Zone pig face Maggie Gyllenhaal?
Listen, I like you had a problem with Maggie Gyllenhaal.
I think she's cute too. I love
like
her.
her. I think she
sweet.
did a much better job than Katie Holmes.
Way better actress.
Yeah,
but
Katie
like,
Holmes is just like my face is like, and then like
it's
it's like she's having a stroke throughout the whole movie.
But like at the same time, like I feel like in the second movie, every time Bruce Wayne looks at her, he's like, I could do better.
I'm more broken over you. Well, yeah, he got Anne Hathaway. I mean, it worked out.
And this dude got laid in Batman 3.
Yeah, he got some big old titties in this movie too.
That was my that was my argument for Bobby. He was sending me a bunch of texts for the movie, and I was like, listen, man, like it's been 8 years. This guy gets laid twice in like who knows how. Like
That's true.
You know, he's doing it with
Dry
like,
spell.
2 different dry spell over Alfred. Oh great, Master Wayne.
Give me some poon.
And he's like, of course he's gonna leave. He's gonna go to Tuscany with the hot thief.
I'm gonna drink little drinks. Thank you, Alfred. Little tiny drinks.
It was the littlest drink in all of Tuscany.
This
Wayne.
this Tuscany drink is $1,000. Thank God I'm rich.
That's almost. That's Edward James almost.
Almost. You can find earth inside my face.
Next Batman, Edward James almost.
I love it.
This movie sets up for anything you want to do because you can get a Batman Beyond type movie.
Yeah.
You can get a Batman with the Robin movie. You can get Nightfall. You can get this dude being Batman and being really crappy at it and the Batman coming back.
You could be a raindrop coming down a mountaintop. Gotta be a raindrop on top of a mountaintop. Coming down.
If anybody can identify what that quote is from, I will buy you a beer.
And we'll have Edward James almost come to your house as well.
Hey, I heard you.
Got there. Help with signings for raindrop meetings.
One episode, we should just do the whole show in Edward James Olmos voices.
Wonderful.
I heard you got that quote right.
We're getting Ron Moore on next week too to talk about Battlestar Galactica.
That'd be awesome. So yeah, Batman rocked. That's it for our Batman thing. I mean, we could talk about the movie. We've been talking about this movie for a week since like literally when we got out of the theater.
Yeah.
Great flick. Go check it out. Put your crappy thoughts about anything you've ever heard about this movie. Put it under your seat. Just enjoy it. Enjoy the enjoy the.
Don't forget it under your seat though.
Yeah.
Make sure you retrieve it from under the seat.
Take it home with you. But don't forget that you're watching a awesome Batman movie.
Awesome.
And it'll never happen again.
Yep.
I hope it will, but like you know,
all downhill from here.
Realistically, it could be all downhill from here. You can get other great movies from like other different characters, but this, a little something special over
Yeah,
here.
it was.
How much time we got left, Andrew?
3 minutes.
Oh,
Oh boy.
2
okay.
minutes.
Read
Batman Incorporated was really good.
Spider-Man, awesome.
Green Lantern was really great. Let's talk about Manhattan Projects while we can.
Okay, go.
Guys, listen to me for a second. Manhattan Projects by Jonathan Hickman. I don't remember the artist's name.
Mhm.
It's basically about the Manhattan Project, which is the crew that developed the bomb. This is their misadventures. That it's called Manhattan Projects.
Oh, so good.
This has Robert Oppenheimer eating an alien's brain. Einstein being replaced by a pan-dimensional version of himself.
Evil Einstein
who drinks a lot more.
Mhm.
You've got Enrico Fermi being an alien. It is such a magnificent. It's like the Justice League of Scientists.
It's really good.
It's very violent. It's really dark. A lot of fun. This is amazing.
Beautifully crafted book. Also, Jonathan Hickman writes it. I'm sorry, whoever drew this book, if you're watching, I don't remember your name.
You're amazing.
But the fact that you have the juxtaposition of evil scientists, good scientists, it's always done in blue and red, and the blue
Got Werner von Braun with a robot arm.
Oh my God, yeah. Every scientist who was in the 40s, they also resurrected FDR and made him the world's first artificial intelligence.
Yeah, he's part of the team.
And he's
amazing.
And all he does is really amazing, battle-rousing presidential speeches.
Yes,
which is fantastic. This last issue, tremendous. They get visited by aliens. This issue, Oppenheimer basically cannibalizes an alien and absorbs all his knowledge. So this alien is trapped inside his head now, along with. Was it like
13 to 14 different personalities of his own?
Right. And, they go into the alien homeworld, and there's a dude who's completely irradiated, and he's got
what was
the
his name?
radiation suit on, and they completely destroy an entire planet by going through Einstein's portal.
And one dude, and there's like one alien still there, the Rawl, this big deep green demon dude. He's like, oh, you guys came over, you killed the entire race. Like, that's kind of expected of you. Of course, you do genocide. And he's like, they're like, the two scientists like, are you gonna attack us or anything? I'm very angry at you.
Hey,
that's it.
It's like, I'm very mad. They're like, shit. Like, something big is gonna happen. This is issue 5.
Harry Daghlian is the irradiated dude.
Okay.
Who in history he dropped a piece of plutonium and freaking Dr. Manhattan himself and is dead.
Not in a good way.
Not in a good way. Did not get powers. Leslie Groves, the general, is a great character also. The guy who runs it.
Yeah.
Also a real dude. I really thought he was manufactured for this, but I did a bunch of research yesterday. Harry S. Truman is a character in the thing very, very infrequently. He's a Freemason psychopath.
And hedonist.
Yes, very much so.
Completely gross hedonist.
Richard Feynman, super genius American physicist, wormholer, which sounds disgusting.
Get it in there.
Good book, man. This is like Eisner quality series. I wish there was more issues out.
It's only up to issue 5. Go pick it up. It's called Manhattan Projects. We've talked about this book before. We're going to talk about it in the future.
Until you buy it all.
What happened?
Until you buy all of them.
That's it. Just buy every single one and let us know. Hit us up on the facebook.com/behindthecounter GFQ
Facebook.com/behindthecounter GFQ.
Right?
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
And, we both got Twitters, BTC John, BTC Jadler.
Yeah, BC Jadler. I don't use it really.
BTC Rich, I use it. I'll have a couple of drinks and go on a rampage about stuff. Nothing harmful. So
please, like our Facebook page. You want to get a lot more people on there.
Yeah, we're trying to get a little notoriety here.
Yeah.
But feel free to comment on whatever you see on the Facebook pages, or if you find us online or whatever. We're very accessible. You can send Andrew an email as well. What's the
guysfromqueens@gmail.com.
Guysfromqueens@gmail.com.
You could
simple.
also carrier pigeon us at Gray Pigeon in Queens. You can. We have a mnemonic tube that comes to us as well. You can just drop us a line, and
I want a mnemonic tube.
We all do.
Don't put your keys in there though.
Don't put your keys in there. I'll fuck up everything.
I watched a 45-minute video on mnemonic tube.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
I would love to have that. It's totally impractical.
Philadelphia was all mnemonic tube.
We also like smoke signals too. If you could just
if you could do smoke signals or
Morse code.
Morse code, lightning, if you have the power to control storms. That's really great too. That's really impressive. Fireworks are really cool. Ants, if you can send insects our way. We always have sandwiches on us at all times.
That is very true.
We always have a small picnic going on.
We also carry pouches full of gold.
We're going to have the first annual Behind the Counter picnic in 10 minutes. So get over here.
Sponsored by the Antiporium in Fort Lee.
Yeah. We'll be at the Queens County Fair Museum.
July 14th to the 15th.
Near the brown cow in the front.
Yeah. And the donkey petting station.
We could, you know what? We should do a behind the counter barbecue in August. All right, it's on, folks.
Pool party next week.
Booyah!
We'll be at Brosphere next week as well.
We're gonna be at Unga Bungas tomorrow night.
You can find us at the gym.
Unga Bungas in Lodi.
You can find us.
That's Mirage.
From 9 o'clock till 10 o'clock in the morning. You can find us in the gym.
Hell yeah!
Are we doing Mirage next week?
7 o'clock to 8 o'clock in the morning. You'll find us in the bathroom.
In 2001, we'll be at Exit and Sound Factory.
And tomorrow in Staten Island, you will not find us.
Never.
And every Sunday at Raceway Park.
Raceway Park.
Truckers for race.
All right, everybody. Good night.